Good evening, everyone. It is Monday, November 17th, 6:30 p.m. as I record this. Can't do lives yet, don't have enough subscribers, so hit that like, subscribe, notifications to all, you know the drill there. I'm still waiting on rec shares to declare, so we'll check that. They always declare after the close, usually around now to 7. But I wanted to get this out because we had another red day. I want to talk about some good news and some bad news. And this is why I like Grok. I asked Grok, why is the market down today? And it gave a really good explanation. And I'll paraphrase it. But, basically the 43-day government shutdown, economic jitters. We don't know what the Fed's going to do in December as far as rate cuts. Tech and AI sell-off and valuation reckoning. Tech and AI have been overvalued for a long time. And I think people are selling, they're panicking. I also think, a lot of people use margin in their accounts and they're getting margin calls, so they have to sell. That further spirals the downward turn. And then let's see, what else did I see? The Dow is down 1.15, S&P down 1.15, NASDAQ down 1.9, which a lot of the funds we cover are more NASDAQ related, more tech related, more AI related, more Bitcoin related. And the VIX, the fear index, was up 12%. So, and then the summary, it looks like a healthy, if painful, consolidation after 2025's AI-fueled rally. Markets up 13% year to date despite April's tariff crash. Overbought signals, and the Federal Open Market Committee minutes this week could extend the pullback. Chatter calls it nervous but capitulating, with dip buyers eyeing Nvidia earnings as a pivot. And I'll talk about that in a minute. Broader resilience, healthcare earnings up 13%. Suggests no full crash, but volatility persists until data clarifies the Fed's path. So, let's look at the VIX real quick. This is the fear index. It is at 2239. Anything above 20 means people are going to be selling. This is a volatility index. It broke through this pivot point at 20.68. It can go up further, up to 25, over 25. It teetered around it and then just broke through it. So we could see more red. Let's look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin has a support at 90,300. It is currently at 91,000. So more room to drop. But the good news, we have this is called the death cross. It's a 50-day moving average and a 200-day moving average. The 50-day moving average crossed below the 200-day, which is bearish in a lot of cases. Let me get rid of the pivot indicator so I can show you what I'm talking about here. Let's go down to the last time. It's called the death cross. The last time I did the death cross was right in here in April, Liberation Day, all that stuff. And it just mooned from there. Wasn't in there long. And the time before that, the death cross was August of 24. It crossed below 50-day moving average, simple moving average, crossed below the 200 in August of 24. It teetered around that area, and then it mooned. So that's the good news. We could be seeing a bottom soon. The problem is this week. Let me go back to real time here. Zoom this back in. Today is Monday the 17th. After the close, we have NVIDIA earnings. I'm thinking regardless of the earnings, positive, negative, beating the estimates, under the, I think things will still go down. It's all overpriced. NVIDIA is the largest company in the world, trillions of dollars in market cap. It's been just insane lately. But that's Wednesday. Then when their earnings come out, also Wednesday, FOMC minutes, housing starts, building permits, the data that some of these suckers track. We have no forecast, nothing, because the government was shut down. So that is when Thursday. We've got existing home sales. They have a forecast for that. Non-farm payrolls, which is always big on the market. Unemployment rate, big on the market. We don't know what the numbers have been since the shutdown. So we're going to see volatility throughout the week. I'm thinking a little to the downside, but I'm hanging in there. I'm not panicked. I do use margin. My margin buffer is still safe. You can't overuse margin. And you think things are great. I'm going all in with margin. You will get called, and you have to sell. And that's what a lot of people are doing. A lot of people are just panicking. A lot of profit taking. They've made money in the last year. They're just taking profits before they get to break even. If they're in profit, they're selling and moving to other stuff. So, speaking of other stuff, that's where our funds come in. I want to show you today what the various companies that we cover, the various fund managers, how their funds did. First, I'll talk about Yieldboost, because they perform best. They're only down 0.59%. Their underlyings were down 4%. Yieldboost does protective puts. You're way capped on the upside, but you're also way capped on the downside. So, I love Yieldboost. They pay great income, and you're not going to get growth, but you're not going to get the losses that we're seeing. So Yieldboost wins the day. But second winner of the day is Yieldmax. You can hate Yieldmax all you want. There's reverse splits going on, blah, blah, blah. And what happened? We went way down. I want to show you what Yieldmax did today as a whole. And they do have inverse funds, which were up. Let's go to the bottom here. We passed it. Yieldmax, as a whole, only down 1.29%. The underlyings were down over 2%. So Yieldmax they do well in a bear market. It's been such a bull market, and a lot of people hate on Yieldmax because they're not capturing the upside, but they're not capturing the downside either, and they're still paying distributions. And the reverse splitting, that's fine. Don't go to zero. Keep paying yield. That's my beef. You guys know that. So Yieldmax, number 2, winner of the day. Rec shares down 2.14. No, that's their underlyings. Down 2.05. Underlyings were down 2.14. So they did well. Usually on a down day, you'll see rec shares perform worse because they are less capped on the upside, but they will capture more downside on a down day. Defiance down 2.24, the underlyings. Defiance was down 3.92. And you guys know I bought SMCC pre-market this morning, and it tanked down 11%. Am I worried? Not at all. I will drip that. I won't sell it. I'll just drip it down, and maybe buy more next week. We'll get to that when we get to that. But this week is going to be very volatile. I think a little more down is coming. I'm not worried. I'm relaxed. I'm dripping. I'm not going to buy any more. I bought SMCC. I bought more of that today. I'm just going to drip everything else the rest of the week. I get paid 4 days a week, every day but Wednesday, and we'll see how it goes. So that's Defiance. Income Blast from Tuttle. Underlines were down 2.37. They were down 2.29 as a whole. That's good. They did not capture the full downside, and so I'm happy with Tuttle. They only have two Income Blast funds, BITK, MSTK. I own both, and we're just going to ride them out, drip them down, and go from there. Round Hill. Let's see how they did. Underlyings were down 0.89. Round Hill was down 1.78. Double. Again, a lot of money's going to Round Hill, and I understand you guys want more NAV stability in a bull market. You're not going to get it in a bear market. They're going to go down further because they are leveraged. Round Hill's, like 1.2% trying to capture the upside. They're going to capture around 1.2 of the downside. They captured a full 2 of the downside today. So that's Round Hill. Bitwise, those, I love those. Underlyings were down 3.5%. Bitwise was down 3.37, so they did better, but almost captured the full downside of that. So again, Yieldboost only down 0.59 today as a whole, if you own, equal amount of all of them. Some were up. The Amazon one was up. The Alibaba was up. And again, these are double leverage underlyings. IOIY up 5.1%. So, IonQ did well. IONL did well. IOYY did even better. So it's good to diversify among all the companies that we cover, all the different funds. I like the inverse funds from Yieldmax. They're reverse splitting, doesn't bother me at all. I think they're too high now to start adding to those. So I'm going to wait for a pull back to the upside, and then I'm really considering putting some more money in those. I do own Fiat, which is the reverse Coinbase. Did great today. In fact, let's check that. Let's see. The short NASDAQ was up 0.69. That's a YQQQ. Let's see. Winter was up 1%, an inverse. TSMY was up 0.19, and their underlying was down. So that's good. Tesla was up 1%. Tesla was up 1.13. So they captured almost all of that upside. Again, Super Microcomputer was down big. SMCY not down as much. Again, a lot of red. But I want to show Fiat. There's Fiat. Coinbase was down 7.7%, we'll say. Fiat was up 5%. Again, inverse fund. It's going to do that. But the inverse funds look really good right now. I think I waited too long to get into those. I've been adding Fiat for a long time. But the others are looking really good. When things turn around, then I'm going to start jumping into those a little bit. So that's my take on the market today and going forward the rest of the week. A lot of stuff going on. Hang on. That's all I got to say. Round Hill declared today WPay. It was less than usual. Let's see. WPay was down 1.71%. $48 fund. They paid 56 cents, 57 cents. Today they declared 39 cents. So that's a drop. That's a 50% yield. based on the average of the last 3. You guys know I averaged the last 3 because any one payment, doesn't really tell you a whole lot. Rec shares, let's check, see if they've declared. TSII is the first one. It was here on earlier and it says 0, and I know they're not declaring 0, so I think that means they're kind of prepared. Yeah, it still says 0, so not a big deal to update that. I want to get this video out because this is important stuff, and just want to talk about that. So again, when Rec Shares declares, I'll update the sheet and maybe talk about it another day. But yeah, hold on to your hats. It's going to be a wild ride the rest of the week. We got a bunch of government numbers coming out. NVIDIA earnings are going to be huge. It's the biggest company in the world. Whether they are better than expected or worse than expected, I think we're going to see a little bit more down. And then late week, maybe into next week, we'll see some green. We'll see. Not financial advice. These are high risk. Consult with a financial advisor. Do your own research. I research these. I know how the funds work. And I see so many people, they bought Misty at $20 and it dropped to 18. They said, this sucks, I'm out. And they lose money. I haven't lost money. You lose when you sell. Or if it goes to 0. None of them have. Reverse splits, it's bad PR. Because so many people don't understand how they work. I think they could educate better on how they work. Almost to the point of saying you will lose money on the NAV, but we'll try to pay you more in distributions. I mean, I don't know. Anyway, have a great night. I will see you soon. I'm not going to premiere this. I'm just going to launch it at 7 o'clock. It's about 10 to 7 now because it's important. And, a lot of times I love the premieres because then I can actually chat with you guys while the video airs. I want you to watch the video and not be distracted. Expect some more down days. Nothing terrible, but again, not financial advice. But that's my take on the market. Have a great day. No video tomorrow. Tomorrow's my busy day at work. But I will talk to you on Wednesday. We'll do a premiere and see if things are better. So have a great night. We'll see you then.